All right, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the All Boats No Hose podcast. Oh yeah, I'm Alex.
I'm Ethan.
Um,
I guess.
Yeah, we do have a guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Wayne. Clearly, this is my first podcast. Being on anything like this, I mean. Well, I accepted Alex's offer to be on it because one thing that I guess is a pattern with me is that I like to do things that are a little unusual and outside of my comfort zone or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love. We can get into that in a second. He has a certain philosophy of life that I really find intriguing, and I think it's cool in a lot of aspects as well. But I just want to give a quick how are you doing? What you been up to? Anything exciting?
Nothing super exciting. No.
No?
I mean, it's a classic October as of right now.
I know I'm excited
First
for the
day.
fall. Sweatshirt weather, dude.
Kind of sad that it's getting cold out. I'm not.
Well, what's cold to you?
Fucking. What do you mean?
Like temperature
Less
wise,
than
dude.
Summer? I don't know.
Less than summer is not cold. I feel like
Fucking, like-
60s is not cold.
Dude.
It's a
I mean,
little
okay.
brisk.
All right, I get it, dude. You've got an inner fire from the hair.
I do have
but
an
I don't
inner
really
fire.
care. I
I'm a very
don't.
passionate man.
And an outer fire. I guess now that I think about it.
Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate
No
the ad
problem.
libs.
Have you seen Elementals? That
The
like,
Disney
Yeah.
movie? No, is it good?
No, I didn't see it, but I just want to know if you identified with like the fire people or not. And if like you saw them and you were like, man, that's like as close. to
Yeah,
the people
I
as I'm gonna
identify
get."
with more firebenders from like Avatar
Well,
because they're cooler.
that's not what I asked.
Yeah,
but
because
okay.
I'm not answering your dumb question.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna ask any more dumb questions then.
Thank you.
Damn, that's
Thanks.
fucked up, dude.
Um,
All right.
but yeah, that's
Is that
cool.
gonna get edited out later?
No,
No,
it's not.
it's not. No.
Just kidding.
We can't edit.
Yeah, we don't know how. We just let this go raw footage.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, we'd like to do it raw.
Only raw.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. That's good to hear. I
nothing
feel
but-
like it's been a minute since we shot, like 2 weeks.
I think so. Yeah, and the last one honestly
Last one we
was so
uploaded was a month ago.
distracting. We just had like the guy like working on.
Yeah, it was
downstairs and
kind
he
of a
was
rough
singing,
episode.
And I was like, dude, this is throwing.
We
the
had a
vibe off.
guy doing this is my place is like 2 units, right? So we live in this top unit, and then there's a bottom unit. They've been renovating the bottom unit, and this guy is convinced he's like a fucking
What's he
godsend
going on, The
singer.
Voice?
Yeah, he's convinced he's gonna go on The Voice, and he was a painter, and he was painting the stairwell, just singing his heart out. And we're trying to shoot the podcast.
Did you invite him to the podcast?
No, because then
Maybe that.
he's
gotta
gonna say
get on
some
The Voice
racist
first
stuff, dude.
before-
He's not the kind of guy I'd want to hang out with. Like, I was just talking to him about stuff, but yeah. So, Wayne touched upon this briefly, but he has a certain philosophy of life that kind of helps let him dictate what he wants to do. Is that fair? A fair assumption?
Pretty much.
Do you want to kind of go into that
Let's
a little
hear
bit?
it.
I mean, I don't. All right.
Whatever you're comfortable saying.
I guess this is unusual. I mean, it must be. But like, basically, if at first I don't like it, I feel like I have to do it.
That's his
So-
philosophy
Okay.
for his entire life.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Now,
Or makes you uncomfortable.
yeah, like it basically, for example, like a very small example recently in intro 1 in our improv class.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we do improv comedy together.
Oh, that's how we know each other.
Yeah.
Remember Natasha?
Yes. I remember her. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you were in our intro 1.
No, I was
No,
not.
Okay.
But
Well, anyway, there's this. Anyway, she stopped doing improv, but she like mentioned that she had this big passion for the mall, and I immediately just got this negative reaction to hearing that. I was like, I hate the mall. Okay.
Fuck them all.
And then I was like, I told her straight up, like to her face, like I don't like the mall. Do you want to go to the mall? Like,
Did you go with her?
Yeah.
Oh.
And how was it?
It was fascinating. It was
Which
fun.
mall?
What?
Which mall?
Somerset.
That's probably
Oh.
the best one.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Great Lakes Crossing.
Oh, it's more, I guess, in our price range. I
Great
would
Lakes
agree.
Crossing is the fucking people's mall. Somerset is
Bougie.
Yes.
Oh, I love like it's just the bouginess. So what I really enjoy if I run into a person who is like kind of strange, kind of weird, like her, from my perspective. Okay.
Yeah, she likes the mall, Wayne. What
Yeah.
a fucking weirdo.
To me, she's weird.
She's batshit insane, dude.
I've never like I don't remember the last time I went to the mall other than that one time with her, and I had no desire, and I just just recoil at the thought. But when I went with her, what I enjoy is like just like seeing how I'm like, okay, what do you see in it? Like, okay, I don't like it, but why do you like it? That sort of thing. And so she started getting really passionate about like
Chick-fil-A,
no the
Apple Store.
Balenciaga shoes, all the
Okay.
stuff. Like I
okay.
don't know the fashion brands or
Like
anything.
Gucci and
Gucci,
Louis
yeah.
Vuitton. Okay.
Right. And like she showed like for
Gap.
example like she was like, look at this like these shoes, and she especially liked the gold. I don't know, like it looked like it's like
I have no idea.
it looked like some parts of like the buckle or whatever looked like like gold
Okay.
plated or whatever.
Follow.
And I said like I hate gold.
So did you buy the shoes?
But no, I didn't buy anything. But like,
Oh, but if you hated it,
I hated it. But then I was like, but it's so cool that you like it. It's like this is something I don't know why. Like I have another friend. He loves like looking at like old houses, vintage houses that like with wood siding, not plastic. Like he's really specific about this. And I have no clue about any of this stuff, but I love taking walks with him because he's so into it. And I'm like, I'm just fascinated with people who see things differently, basically. From me. Now,
Yeah.
the mall sounds like more normal to
Sure.
you guys, but to me, it's like
Why have you never been a fan of the mall? Like, what
um,
happened in your childhood, perhaps, that like deterred you from malls?
you know what? Something did happen in my childhood. Very astute question. No, actually, like when I was young, I got lost in the mall, and
Oh my God, it gets
yeah,
deeper.
yeah.
Dude, that sounds horrible. To be
yeah,
honest.
I would hate to be, especially when
Yeah.
you're a kid, being lost in the mall is probably scary as hell.
Yeah, no, that's.
Or was this like last week?
Like I said, I haven't been to the mall.
Do you guys remember the last time you were lost? Like, I remember mine.
I don't know if I've ever been lost. Well, no, I should say this. I get lost like driving. I'd be like, fuck, I don't know where I
I
am.
parked my car in Royal Oak,
Yeah.
and then we went out, and I like went, and I cannot find what parking structure.
Oh, I was lost in
left it
Detroit.
and like for probably 45 minutes, I walked around Royal Oak looking
Yeah.
for this parking structure, and that sucked. That was not fun.
I had the same thing, but in Detroit with A-Man and John. We were walking back from the bar, and it was like 2 a.m. in Detroit. It was freezing out. And we were
I
like,
think you told me.
yeah,
this.
we wanted to get an Uber.
And he didn't want to.
He didn't want to
right?
Uber to the
Yeah,
car.
Classic.
Yeah, it was. But we ended up doing it because we were all lost.
So Wayne, was improv something that you also did because at first you did not like it?
Absolutely.
Cool.
So yeah, no, like I looked at like say, well, okay, so my initial. Okay, sorry. Like so at first, my main motivation for doing improv was to I don't know work on social anxiety.
Okay.
And there's two ways to go about it. I've gone like stand up. You can do many things. I did a lot of social dancing before doing improv. Anyways,
How
like
would you rate social dancing? I'm not really familiar.
Yeah.
all right, we can get into that. That's a whole nother can of worms.
Sure.
Yeah,
But, like,
I've had
but-
this conversation. It's
Yeah,
great.
but basically, like, to finish off, like, the improv thing, between, like, stand-up and improv, I felt that I could probably do stand-up better. That's why I chose improv. See, that illustrates what I'm talking about. Like, the thing
Okay.
that I find more uncomfortable, more
So,
difficult, I'd rather do.
For you as somebody who
Yeah.
did it like to perhaps like help with like social anxiety, are you by better at it? Does better mean like getting over like anxiety more, or does better mean being funnier to you?
I think I could probably be more skilled. I don't know how to say it. Like, just like I could make the audience laugh or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, but that wasn't. So here, okay. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't done stand-up comedy. But like
Yeah.
my impression of it is that you can script that out
Yep.
and you can bomb it many times and just slowly just perfect it.
Isn't the
That's
I
the
was gonna say, don't you
process.
say you
I
get
mean,
bored? Cause
well,
like,
that's what. So I
at least
get
for you.
for me, like, this is why I do improv,
Mm-hmm.
is that and this is kind of, I guess, my philosophy is I hate being bored. Like, if I'm bored, I want to do something else. And you know, some people are content with just doing nothing and being bored, and sometimes I like to do nothing if I'm like exhausted. But I like to I don't know, just do something cool as fuck a lot. So for when that's originally why I did stand up. And then I enjoyed it for a while, but what I didn't enjoy, this is why I also didn't like school because of homework, was just like doing the same thing over and over again was so repetitive to me that I lost the enjoyment of doing my set. And like, yeah, I would get some, you know, a high from like people laughing at my jokes and stuff, but I think I would rather bomb on improv than bomb on stand up because I spent 4 to 5 hours a week working on this thing that didn't go well compared to something I made up on the
It's
spot.
gonna make you feel less bad.
Yeah, that, and it's also like
improv as opposed to
it's
stand-up.
also on improv. You know, you get to do with a bunch of people. So even if you suck, you can kind of be in more of a supporting role.
Yeah, no, there's all these differences. I want to mention. No, that's really cool. I agree with everything you're saying. That, but so with stand up though, like, from in my head, if it bombs, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just improve one thing. and
Fuck
then
this crowd.
Well, no, I would just be like, okay,
Kill 'em
what? Like,
all.
oh yeah, one big thing about me, which is something I'm very like self-conscious of, like, is I'm extremely analytical. Which is why I think stand-up wouldn't seem scary to me because I'm like, okay, it bombed. Let me like analyze the shit out of it, and just work at it, you know, and just like, all right, let me just go up and try again. You know, and like improve that little joke or improve the way I delivered that or whatever, and just do it again. Just a lot of reps, and eventually it gets honed. You know, like it gets polished, and then it's good. Like that's how it is in my head anyway. So I guess I like am confident about that. About like I can like analyze it and just sort of just apply patience to it, and it'll work. Improv is way scarier to me because I'm like, okay, you got one shot, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys have like a favorite improv moment like from your careers that like sticks out in your head that like you'll always remember? Like maybe this is the reason why you kept doing it a little bit. Like,
I do.
what is it?
Oh, it was the Advance One show.
Oh, really?
When I went up and it was during the donut scene.
Yes. But to me, there were many moments like that.
But for me, that was the
Yeah.
first time I had like close to a standing ovation in a sense.
What is the donuts?
Yeah.
It wasn't,
yeah.
So you were there.
Oh, my suggestion.
Yeah, and then and the ginger donut.
Dude, yeah.
And then I said,
I am so glad you mentioned this because
Yeah.
I'm glad we're okay. You know what?
You're
we're
welcome.
gonna have a little like therapy session with between us improvers.
I've been trying to convince him to do improv, so maybe.
Like-
Dude, we'll see.
Yeah.
We
I think you'd be better at stand up, but yeah.
I'm sorry
Thank
to cut you off, but like, I was so insecure in that scene, and then when you came in and you saved, like, from my perspective, like, Alex saved the set, like, saved that moment. Because okay, we want
If only
to.
we had it.
Do we want to walk through? Let's walk them through what happened in that scene.
Okay, so it was the original suggestion was from this fucking asshole here was Ginger, and because I was standing on stage,
Well,
I was
hold on,
was
hold-
what do you not like? Yeah,
Wait, hold on, like just to explain how improv works, right? The audience gets, you get a suggestion from the audience,
yeah.
like a word. And
For
then-
some, yeah, for
Yeah.
like it's different depending upon what format you're doing, but most of it, at least once it starts off with the suggestion.
Right. The audience gave a suggestion, like we're like, oh, like
So it was
basic-
something that you
it's
hate.
like,
Yeah.
something that you hated. Like that was like, oh, like everyone just whatever comes to mind. Something that you hate. Somebody shouted ginger.
Oh, that was him.
It was me.
Oh, okay. So all right. Well, I guess like there's synergy. But, like,
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah.
but like, and then we as improvisers we're supposed to make up a scene. So a little skit, if you will, like on the spot about that. Okay, I come in or somebody comes in, I thought like I just what I remember was that somebody was
Someone else said donut after
yeah,
ginger.
that's right, donut.
Yeah.
And then like another improviser in our group,
Mafouge.
well, yeah, he was like played a character selling donuts, and then I came in.
It was you and Jeremy and Mafouge were the three people in the
Right.
set.
I want to give credit to me here,
Actually
but
lives right
like
down the
maybe
street.
it was Jeremy or somebody, but basically one of us
Actually, that way.
asked for like a ginger donut. I thought it was me.
It was you. You
was-
said you
okay.
brought it back to ginger.
Right. And so but then I froze up because I was like Mafuz gave me the imaginary ginger donut, and I'm like looking at it like it's magical, and I'm like looking, like really making the audience like look up into my hand like this. And I was like, what was the
You said something. I forget what it was, but then I do know that someone like. So what happened after you ate it? And then Jeremy said something, and I don't remember what it was.
That's right.
And then
Basically,
that
we made a whole big deal
Yeah.
about like it's magical and like what would happen if you eat it. And I had nothing in mind. And that's when you came in.
So I was there's what's called a back line, which is all the improvers that are not in the scene are on the back line on the behind like the back of the stage, and they're not in the scene, they're just watching. And you can do what's called walk-ons, is if you have an idea or whatever, a character you want to play or something you want to put into the scene that you think would be really funny or would help it, then you could do what's called a walk-on, and that's what I did. And so then I just walked on the stage, and then all I said is, "Let me tell you what happened to me."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
no, it was-
and then Scott like came off. He was also on the back line, and he what's called did a sweep,
Yeah,
which
right.
ends the scene.
Right,
And
that
it was a really good, because if it kept going,
Time
I
to
don't
end
know
it.
where to go from there. But
we would have made it work, but
yeah, I think it was the best time to end it though.
Oh, absolutely.
Scott did
Yeah,
it. That
yeah,
was a
yeah,
good
yeah,
decision by him as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like there was just a lot of clapping because it was essentially a callback to an original suggestion that which I do appreciate Mafouge not saying ginger as the scene because he didn't know it was my friend that was saying it. If it was just some random person in the audience, like that would not be cool in my opinion. But so I do appreciate like Mafouge not doing that, like because he didn't know if that would make me uncomfortable or not, right?
Right. Oh,
Because it was something you hate in gingers. Like if it wasn't Ethan, that would be a pretty rude thing to do.
Kind of mean.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Which I'm not mad at you for bringing it back because I know that like I could tell it was Ethan who yelled it,
okay.
and that's why I was okay doing the scene.
Okay. So there's a lot more nuance here because
Yeah.
so I was no.
Yeah.
So then I was right to feel a little insecure about.
Yeah.
What
No, yeah,
what I did.
definitely.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at it or
So it was a
anything.
huge
I was
risk
never.
that I took. That
Yeah.
It happened
Well,
to work out.
I also don't get like too. I'm not like self-conscious about it. Like I wouldn't
Okay.
have been like insecure, but I would have been like, you're a fucking dick. Like if it's just some random guy, like you don't know who I am, but like I could tell it was Ethan because of his like weird ass voice.
I just sound
So,
pretty sexy.
No,
yeah,
you
you're
don't,
right.
dude. You don't
You're
at
right.
all. You're not.
That's fucked up. Dude.
No.
So-
I actually auto-tune your voice in the podcast. It was
Oh,
the
wait a
sound
minute.
shit.
Wait a minute.
That's where the alien voices came from. Remember that?
Oh, right. So when I didn't know it was you, but like when the suggestion was ginger,
Yeah, when this asshole said that, right?
I turned it into a donut
son of
thing,
a
not into a
bitch.
person thing. Okay, so actually,
sorry. We're watching Toy Story football and the ball just shot backwards.
This is the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah.
Back to the story. I'm
Yeah.
not
okay.
I'm gonna turn this off.
So-
Keep going.
Well, okay, so yeah, I was like, fumbling, scrambling because I knew I was like making like building up all this tension around like this donut thing, and then you basically came in and slayed it with the punchline, and
Slayed it.
and it was like, I was really really grateful to you for doing that, and
I'm a fucking god, dude. I'm
yeah,
a hero.
But
Fucking-
You're welcome, man.
so then overall, it was such a good, awesome sequence of events. Like
But
it was such an
I-
awesome setup. That I was like,
yeah.
okay, this setup that I did, I put so much like tension in this. Completely the right thing to do because of what you followed it up with.
I
Yeah.
think the group you guys were
Yeah.
in were funnier than the coaches that you had.
Oh no, I agree.
I do not think the coaches. Look, I'm not
No,
trying to
no.
hate on them or anything, but like
Everyone has
I
good
did
and bad
not-
sets,
I did
yeah.
not think those were
Part-
very good sets.
So part of it is like that little ESP like chemistry, like because I didn't know that he was gonna do that, but so this is where when you bring up this ginger thing, there was to me that was like one of several moments that felt to me like that. Like you came in with something and like, or I did something and you or like
Anyone in our group, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like it like often works out where we have a
No,
lot of like chemistry to like
we do
read each other to do stuff like
we
that.
do have a lot of chemistry, and in that moment for me, just I was on a high after, just because the amount of like how the
No, that's-
audience
that's
reacted.
amazing. Yeah,
I was like, I
yeah.
was on a high after
Yeah.
that,
That's sweet.
and I think that's
Yeah.
maybe why I was a little bit. I didn't feel as good about. Like I liked our last show, but I don't think it was my best show.
I see. You didn't get that fucking.
No,
That-
no,
so
I
that little
had some
dopamine
solid. I don't
rush?
think I had any scenes that were bad, which is a first for me.
Really. So
I thought the worst
I
I was I was in an okay scene. I never had a bad scene. I think the class before I was in one bad scene.
What percentage of scenes do you guys think during the actual show, like after the show, when you think about it, you're like, okay, that one wasn't good?
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I think it's just random every time.
Like,
Just from the very
okay.
nature of improv. I
do you think there's usually at least one?
Oh yeah, there's no every 20 minutes.
We have to reset.
You have to
it.
reset the but I think that for every improv, like if Tim Robinson, he's improvist, right? He's had bad scenes for sure, and probably still
Sure.
would if he kept doing improv. That's just the very nature of it because there's no preparation. But I do think that being in a group, like he said, that of like we have such chemistry and we just it becomes to a point where it's instinctual of like what
It's
to do
also, like,
next.
an interesting thing, especially because like you guys are classes where you all like did this, and you can find that chemistry. Like,
Well, I
it's
think
cool to think what people could
I
do
think
if
a
they
lot
find
of
an
these
actual group
classes
that
are
they
to
know.
build troops as well, because like
Really?
we spent like a year and a half together. You gotta like whether or not like if for at least the
I
people
like
who
that they're
want to
called
start
troops.
a troop, yeah,
It's like chimpanzees,
I mean,
or army
okay,
troop.
I guess.
not to be like pouring cold water or anything, but
Yeah.
my take on that is it's kind of random. Like it really, it's just
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of luck.
No,
I mean,
we
there-
are
there-
lucky.
There are people I could name that I'd feel like I don't know.
We don't need to single
Yeah,
anybody
exactly.
out.
Yeah, you
but
do.
like, but there's I think it really is like just, there's just lots of different kinds of personalities, and
I mean, I do think we're very lucky in our group, though.
I do think so too, in that we have such variety. Like for example, Teresa, like she is so good with like what are we laughing about?
Oh, I don't want to like
He's
just
like-
bring up people's names.
Okay,
Just yeah, we just say
T.
like yeah, just call her T.
bleep this out.
I
It'll
will,
Get bleeped
I
out.
will.
That'll get bleeped out. Another classmate or another improviser.
In our group, yeah.
In our
she's
group,
she's
yeah.
she's probably the best in terms of like she has the most experience and she has a lot of skill and
Oh.
playing characters.
She has a lot of like energy and
She's
able to
psychopathic.
it's like the opposite of me in the sense that she can like talk like she can just have that flow. of
She's a drama
words.
teacher.
Oh, okay. that
Yeah,
makes
she
sense.
teaches like
Yeah.
theater and stuff. So like,
Do you guys think there's like archetypes for improv?
Yep.
Or improvers,
Absolutely.
like
Yep.
people are like what are some of them? Would you say?
So there are
Like, what kind of improvers? Tim Robinson, like that.
he's a
kind of thing. Like,
goofball, dude. He's a fucking goofball. I think
who
so.
are some
I
other
actually I have
high-level
a book
goofballs,
here.
Like Jim Carrey. Was he a goofball one? Was he a different one?
Yes, Jim Carrey, like he would represent like the more
Pirate Ninja Robot. It's a book that
That
talks
says
about
Pirate
the
Robot Ninja,
sorry, yeah, but
so-
the three archetypes that are like main archetypes for improv. A robot's probably more like Wayne, who's more of an analytical kind of sense, right? I think pirate is what I remember is probably what I would be. Is more of just like a off the
Really?
rails kind of person, and then a
That
ninjas. I
sucks.
think. I don't know. I didn't read it yet, but
Well, oh my! Ninja, you gotta go to like the school, right?
like yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
That's
what
true.
you're talking
Ninja
about
school.
here,
Oh,
but
you
yeah.
should talk about your you should talk about your kung fu night school in the
used
woods.
Alex used to want to go to Spain and learn how to be a ninja.
Yeah.
right. Actually, this might be a segue from improv. So first of all, it's called Sistema and it's Russian.
Which is with his martial art that he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a very very interesting martial arts. Yeah, it's Russian. It's not like it has nothing to do with the East or anything like that.
Fuck these.
Sure.
I don't know.
Like it is also extremely improvisation based. So there are no moves in this martial art.
You do improv martial arts too? That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
So it is kind of
Double
related to
improv.
Yeah, it's also related to,
Do you think either of them
improv,
makes
yeah.
you better at the other one?
Absolutely.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. In fact, I in terms of I did a little roll on the ground one.
You did do a
class,
somersault.
Yeah.
In an improv
I
scene.
can do a little dive roll into the ground.
How did you
Cute.
find Russian Sistema?
That's just luck. That's just
Okay.
just running into it
Can you
on YouTube or whatever.
what you told the
Yeah.
class about when you came back from the school?
Mhm.
You had some stories like of what was going
well,
on.
Okay, what I find interesting. Let me give a background of what,
Yeah, of
what
course.
this is all
Sure.
about, because it is in fact really interesting. Basically, what I find interesting about it is that the more chill, the more let's just okay. Did you know that drunk people, if they get into a car accident, they have the lowest probability of injury? Because
They're all loose and
they're
stuff. They
so
don't, like,
incredibly
tense
loose.
up.
Yeah, incredibly loose.
Cool.
Okay, that's what you're trying to do more consciously in Sistema.
Mm.
And
So just black out before you go to practice.
well,
You
there is
just
a
get
there's
hammered.
a thing where the teacher, and he's from Russia, like if there's like a really hard case student where the student's like not getting it, he'll like bring him to his office and just give him a shot of vodka, like yeah, and just to
I
loosen,
see.
yeah, like
And then fuck the shit out of him in the office.
now.
It's badass.
Loosen him up a little bit.
So what it turns out that in terms of the physics of like hitting, as well as taking a hit, if you're loose, even while hitting, ends up being optimized. Like you can transmit the most force, you can do the most damage if you're loose. It's very
Okay.
counterintuitive.
Mm.
It turns All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
okay.
Where did you find this martial art? Like, was it,
No, this is I just ran into it on YouTube one day. Or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's
And you looked
nothing,
up like things near me, like Sistema near
So-
me, or
So okay, I'll tell you why I tend to find these things in general. Like why I find improv. Again, it's that same radar of like if it looks strange, if it looks weird, if it looks.
I
like,
want that.
Yeah, exactly. If it looks like
need
it
that.
the wood shouldn't work, if it looks extremely non-mainstream, that's the thing I want.
Oh,
how do
yeah.
you decorate your house?
Yeah.
Like, do you just like, I hate that.
Well, you live in the
I need it.
you live in an Airbnb, right?
Well, I'm trying to make an Airbnb. So right now my house is under renovation.
Okay.
And it's basically really empty. And yeah, on the outside it looks like crap. Like
Sure.
like the neighbors they asked me like if I ever am gonna mow my lawn, and I was like no.
Nah, I don't. I'm
I
very
do-
comfortable
I do-
mowing
I
my
do mow
lawn,
the
so
lawn.
no, I'm not
I do
gonna
mow
do
the
that.
lawn, but like only if it gets really bad. Like, but yeah, I do have a lawnmower. You do use it. But part of it is I like my personality is I like to be like under the radar. I like to like so my house looks like really bad on the outside, but like hopefully it'll be cool on the inside.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then you want to turn it into an Airbnb?
Yeah. Well, that's as an
Okay.
experiment. See how it goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you kind of give some stories about the schooling, that camp that you did at the high school in the woods?
That's right. So there was like this. So in Sistema, there was like this camp that happened this past summer
In Canada, right?
in Canada. It's called at Lake Rousseau Boys High School. And
Boys' night out.
yeah, well, it's summer, so they're not there. But it is like this dorm camp. I don't know if Bible camp is something relatable to you. Probably not.
Yeah, they fight a
But-
lot in Bible camp.
Well, I mean, just the setting. It's like okay. So when I was young, I went to Bible camp.
In Bible camp,
Yeah.
the main guy, took me in his office, gave me a shot, and fucked the shit out of me. So yeah, it was very relatable.
Well,
On a
okay.
watch list.
Well, he
Um,
was watching me for
but
a
it was
while,
like,
yeah.
it's
I was
like
on,
there's
and
a-
I was on his
I've
list.
had enough of you. Trying to learn about the camp, Alex. Shut up.
Sorry, keep talking about your knife camp.
I'm trying to like tie in what you're saying to, but I can't.
You can't just keep going. Just push forward.
But yeah, like I'm trying to give you a picture, an idea of what
Mhm.
it looks like. There's like there's a lake, there's a woods, there's these nice, clean dorms, and there's a cafeteria building.
So it's a school, yeah.
It's a school. It's a really nice looking place. Like it's like looks very like, I mean, it looks like an awesome camp that I would want to be in, you know, that sort of thing.
So you were in it.
What?
You did you joined the camp, right?
Well, so Sistema, that they
Rented it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like what your dad wants to do.
Yeah. So and then you get a knife pulled out on you, right?
Okay, so one aspect of this camp was the night training. All right.
Training at night.
Yeah, and this pretty much had nothing to do with Sistema.
Okay. It's just
It
training.
was just part of like the camp experience. Now, the guy who taught it, yeah, he wasn't the main Sistema teacher guy. He was more like ex-paramilitary somebody. He like, yeah. And he I don't know. What I found was, I don't know where to begin. So in night training, basically, they teach you. Okay, imagine it is really, 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 really dark. You can see the stars.
Okay.
It's extremely dark, and so then they're trying to train you to how to operate in the dark, how to like communicate with people when you can barely see them. So they train you how to like identify silhouettes and like how to like feel the ground so that you're not stepping on sharp objects, and crawl, a lot of crawling, and then I guess it's like, I don't know if any of you have any experience with this, but like in a military boot camp, like there's a lot of like waiting and just a lot of they just put you through like a little bit of like a torture drill,
Sure.
And yeah, I found it extremely fun just because I liked watching everyone's reactions as they got more and more irritated. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like basically the instructor, he would give us almost no instruction and we'd be just clueless as to what's going on. It's basically pitch black. He even told us at one point to put on blindfolds to make it even worse.
How many people are involved in night training?
Okay, so there were like the first night it was like over 100 people at the field, in the woods. And second night, like there only half of them, and then by the last night it was like less than 20 of us left.
Where'd they go?
Well, so it's all voluntary. Like we all paid to be.
They died.
Here. Yeah, they just like
Just left
yeah, just left.
after
Just
they
did.
were like, "I'm done."
Well, yeah. Well, so night training went past like 2 a.m. sometimes, and then the actual Sistema training would begin at 7 a.m. So the people were like, "No, fuck this, man. Like we need sleep. I need to sleep." And but I wanted the full experience, so I just lost the sleep basically. And so yeah, like there was like one night where we'd just be waiting there for like literally 2 hours, just like waiting in the grass. We're all like shoulder to shoulder, and for some reason we were made to play the telephone game, where
What are
somebody
you training for?
just discipline and like just like whether you can
if
stand
all
the
lights
pressure.
went out, if we'd be able to figure it out or not, if we could like.
Fuck the shit out of you.
Like, well, okay, it's a lot of it is just sort of. It's hard to explain. It's like they're trying to train a mindset. They're trying to train that the patience, the
Warriors.
Yeah, like just how to handle it when you don't understand what you're supposed to do. Like just they're trying to deliberately try to confuse you.
Yeah.
They're trying to, and like at one point, like so we're supposed to like play like this game of telephone. Like somebody whispers something in my ear, and I'm supposed to whisper the same thing next to the next guy, right? And so like it'd be some stupid shit. I don't know, just like 1 + 1 is 2 or something, and just like pass it on or something, right? It's just stupid. But the problem, but like we kept doing it over and over and over in the dark, and the mosquitoes are just like buzzing around us and just like biting our necks and stuff. And if anyone like made a noise, the instructor would be like, "All right, everyone, on your fists and do push-ups." Like they just like punish us, okay? And I don't know. Okay, you guys. Okay, I was like internally, I was like laughing my ass off the entire time, just because of how irritated everyone else was. Like, this is bullshit, And then they like, by the time the end, so there was like over 50 people, maybe like I think like 100 people in this game of telephone. By the end of it, of course, it's not gonna be like like it's gonna fuck up somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then when word gets that like it didn't work, everyone's like, oh God, fuck that guy. Like it's just like everyone. And
how does system like how many people go to the Systema training as opposed to the night training? Like how many?
okay, yeah,
people
a
are
lot more people go to
here?
the Systema training than the night training.
Like how popular of a martial art is it? Would you say?
All right, yeah. Okay, sorry. The night training had very little to do with Systema, but that's the part I found the most enjoyable. That's why I'm talking about
That was
it.
the most enjoyable. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, exact because it was the most funny. It was like it was the most hilarious part of it.
Can
Yeah,
you
like-
tell a story about the knife?
Okay, the knife. So that same guy, it's who conducted the night training. During the Systema, day training, and this was my problem in Systema right now is I have trouble moving my feet. So like okay. Anyway, whatever. Like when you try to dodge a punch or a knife, you're supposed to like move your whole body, including your feet, blah blah blah. It's all this whole thing. But like, I had trouble with my feet, and so then I told that to that night training instructor, and then we were at the time people were using training knives, basically plastic knives, like, and so if you get poked with one of those, you'll feel a jab, but whatever, right? But then he pulls out his actual real knife. Like it was like shiny, it was real, it was super sharp, and then I just like went into like shock or whatever. I just started like shaking, and then he's like, "Hold still," and then he, and I was like, and then he's like, "Breathe." Remember how they taught you, like so you breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And just try to relax and just become as zen and yoga as you can, as Systema teaches you, to be super loose and chill and relaxed. And I'm shaking because he like has this he just like pulled out this like knife on me, and then I'm like, basically breathing the wrong way. And then so he like sticks the knife like into me like a little bit, And then and I totally felt it. It drew blood, and then he's like, "Now, escape." And then
How much did you pay for this?
yeah, I paid for this. I paid for this.
How much you pay for this? Yeah, I paid for it.
Christ.
And then so then I did what I did to
Avoid the knife.
make the knife, not be perpendicular to me, but be a little bit more, sideways to me. And he's like, "See, you moved your feet." And so then I was like,
What
"Thanks,
a teacher.
thanks, teacher."
Yeah.
Gotta get that guy on the podcast.
No, fuck.
No, he's definitely a character. Yeah. And when we were doing push-ups, when he like punishing us during night training, what he would do,
What a wild sentence.
like
He's punishing us during night training.
like he would tell like this really like boring story of like Pete and his dog or something like that, or no, old Joe and his dog, and he start be like, "Well then, old Joe he found a old copy of War and Peace on his bookshelf, and so he then started reading it to his dog, chapter 1," and then basically it would just annoy people so that it would be like basically people would be like, "Okay, we'll play telephone right this time. Like we'll do what you like. We'll do it right this time. Please stop telling your stupid story." And so that's how he like got us to like it's kind of humorous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so he is a character. So anyway, yeah, that's it.
And how long is the Systema training at the
I think
Russo
it
Boys
was,
School?
was it a week?
It was a week. Yeah.
What
You
do
know
you tell work? Like, hey,
Well,
going on a trip.
So
Like, what do you tell people? Like, do you go?
well, he doesn't have a
So-
job.
Like,
so-
do you go straight
yeah.
into it if somebody
Right
asks? You
now-
go Systema training.
well, right now, I don't have a job.
Sure.
Right now, I'm kind of living off of Tesla money.
Cool.
Yep.
So yeah, in 2020, so what I was doing before was product licensing, and then then COVID hit, and yeah, suddenly that dried up a little bit, and basically, yeah, it occurred to me to put lots of money into Tesla, and then it worked out. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, he's got it. That's why I just find it very fascinating. I feel like you jump to different like things that don't have dots connected to them.
Yeah.
And that's
well,
what I find very interesting. Like even when
I
you
feel
told
like
me
it's just-
what your major was in college, it has like nothing to do with product licensing.
no, it,
what was
it
your
did it.
major?
Well, it was engineering.
But you get like
but-
a doctor's, right, or a
yeah,
master's?
I got a PhD
Yeah.
in electrical solid state engineering. Um, yes, you're right. It has nothing to do with
Yeah, I
anything.
just found that
Yeah,
so
it just-
interesting, and
it's-
it's always,
yeah.
but it's worked out. Like you're moving up. Maybe not
So-
maybe not a consistent up.
Yeah, it's
but
not consistent up. Now this is getting a little deeper. In
we can
terms
get
of
as deep
ho-
as we want
how-
here at
how-
night school, dude.
How it relates.
Punishment.
Oh, I don't know. This might not be that interesting, but like, I'll try to summarize what I learned in grad school and how it affects everything. In that, my advisor back in grad school, he was basically Elon Musk.
He was Elon Musk.
basically, well, he was like really smart and oddly speaking,
Rich as fuck.
yeah, except for that.
Oh.
Like,
He was all the bad parts about Elon Musk. no.
well,
Has
I mean,
85
like
kids.
the point was that like when I saw Elon talk and like what he was saying about like what he was gonna do with cars and rockets and stuff, I immediately like sort of like it felt relatable to me. It felt like because I knew my advisor, like that's why I felt like that's part of among many reasons why I felt really comfortable just going all in on Tesla. So one interesting thing that like is that my advisor, even though he's Chinese, he talks exactly the same as Elon. Like he almost has the same accent. It's kind of strange.
That's how that
Like
works.
Elon's like South African or whatever, but
Yeah.
they both like have the same similar kind of cadence and speech and stuff. And but anyway, like what I learned in grad school was that these people, like these super high IQ people, they're like right, like 99.9.
You just gotta find a dude that talks like that and like hitch a ride to him, I guess.
Say what?
It's always like the guys who talk like Elon and your advisor that like are right. You gotta just invest in them.
Fucking
Basically,
dumbass.
So like
Dude,
basically,
put some shoes on.
what I want to say is that like
my feet.
they so when as a grad student, what I would do is I just be a yes man. I just be like, okay, whatever he says, I'll do. You know, like, but that did not work out.
Interesting.
What is interesting is that they're 99.9% of the time they're right. Like that 0.1% of the time that they're wrong. That's the trick to graduating. you got to figure out that one time that they're wrong.
And you did or you did
Yeah,
not?
well, it took me many years to figure this out because I would just be like this blind follower, and it works out 99.9% of the time, except for that. But the thing is, in grad school, you're supposed to try to find like that one thing that that's different, that's new or whatever, and also okay. Long story short, I learned how to be like independently logical and analytical, like just like. So if you want to know, like if let's say somebody was just most of the time correct, they're super smart and everything, but you need to find that one time that they're wrong. Well, that means you still have to do the homework and check up on them all the time,
Yeah.
and just keep confirming that they're right, Oh, well, except for that one time, that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that not many people like are trained to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like you get lulled into like, okay, well, he's the boss and he's right usually,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go ahead and follow along. And so what I learned how to do was like how to analyze things and trust myself eventually.
So by analyzer, do you
Yeah.
think you called yourself an analytical person? Do you feel like you were like that before this?
No.
Or this like grad school kind of like made you more analytical? In
Yeah,
general?
grad school
I
was the
see.
deciding
Okay,
moment
cool.
for me. Yeah, that's.
Interesting.
So then when it came time when Elon was talking about what he was going to do with Tesla, and I looked into it, like I brought that mindset into it, and that's what allowed me to capitalize or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's pretty much giving you a lot of freedom, though, to like try these new things, right?
For now, I
Yeah,
gotta get something going at some point.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But like the dancing,
Yeah.
Yeah, what does social dancing mean?
This is so interesting that like most people don't know about this because it's such a big. Was it?
I know about it
like,
now after I looked it up.
I've only heard of dancing. Now there's social or anti.
So yeah, you've heard of like salsa dancing, right? Sure. Yeah, that's social dancing.
Okay.
Move
Okay.
it up a little bit.
Gotcha.
Okay. Of course, because it's so mainstream, I didn't choose that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so so like at the time, my mindset at the time was, I like I have like or had or getting over social anxiety, and so at the time, this was like before improv, way before. I was like, oh, it occurred to me that maybe dancing is a way to socialize with people without having to talk to them. Yes, exactly. It's hilarious. Looking back on it, it totally did not work out that way. Okay. And but that's what I was thinking. And then so then I looked at, okay, so what's available? Well, there's ballroom dancing, there's salsa dancing, and then there's something that I didn't know about before was swing dancing. And then there's also other dances that I didn't know about. So basically of those three, I chose the one that seemed the weirdest, the one that I hated the most.
Swing.
Yeah, swing.
Okay.
What was a specific dance that you went to that was like one?
Okay.
Or are you gonna get into that?
Cut to when I was sick of swing dancing. Finally, like
Are you good? Are you good at swing dancing?
I'm okay.
Can we see a quick?
I need a dance partner and
Ethan.
well,
Alex.
so okay.
I'll fine. I'll be your dance partner.
So like in dancing, there's a lead and follow.
Okay.
And they're different.
I'll be
skill
the
sets.
follow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I can play both roles, but like there's like a skill set involved in this.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see both then.
You gotta put
So
the
you're
money where
saying
your
that we're
mouth
not good
is.
enough to be your partner?
We could do it, but it's probably not gonna. It's not gonna show up on the camera anyway.
Damn, I was just trying to get Ethan's laid.
So swing is the best, would you say? Like
No, you get
for
sick of
you?
it.
No, I don't like
But
it.
isn't the best the one that you hate? So like
So,
that was the best one at the start. Like to try to
okay,
hit-
I would. Yes, you're right. I would say I would prefer swing over like salsa
that.
You see, I would rather salsa dance.
because
You just like Latinos.
Yeah.
I used to. Okay, it's an acquired taste. Okay, this has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I hated jazz. So swing is done to jazz music.
Dang.
Do you like jazz?
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hated jazz, but then after enough years of swing dancing, now I like jazz.
How many years of swing dancing have you done?
I think like eight.
Dude, you're fucking about the dancing thing.
No. See, you don't understand.
You don't understand, dude.
No, I do it as long as I don't until I get comfortable and I start to like it.
And then he stops.
Then that's
Okay.
when I stop.
So as soon as he
Yeah.
starts enjoying this podcast, he's out.
Okay,
Alright, that's fair.
So no, okay. So just to let you know, in improv, another big reason I did improv was that I found it very unfunny. Like it was, I would watch improv, I'd just be stone faced the entire time. I'm like, okay, I don't get it, But that's exactly why I'm like, okay, well, I gotta.
Is
do
this
Do you
a-
start to enjoy
Does
it
this
now?
mindset like
starting to enjoy a little bit more, which is a little bit alarming.
So, but you got to finish
Uh-oh.
the 2 classes though. There's only 2 left.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm still not comfortable with it.
I see.
Yeah. So
how do you feel about food? Like, is there foods like do you eat a food and like you liking it to you're like, all right, I gotta move on to something else. I can't be eating this anymore.
Or is that just with more like?
food's an exception.
Okay.
Food is something where I can't relate to. So most people, they get cravings. Most people if they let themselves go, they get fat.
Okay.
If I let myself go, I become a skeleton. Like I literally would just forget to eat. Like, and I don't. It does. Like the only reason why I do eat, I'm like, I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting weak.
It's not high in your dopamine urges.
Yeah.
It doesn't like fuel you.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
so you would just starve yourself then, if you could. If you like,
But
would you
not that-
rather?
no-
Would you
not
rather
that I
not
would-
eat than eat?
It doesn't seem like on purpose.
No,
It's
it's not.
more
Oh,
just
okay,
like
yeah.
he just doesn't
Yeah.
eat.
So
I see.
like food doesn't excite me, or it's just a
It
thing.
excites
Okay.
the fuck out of me,
It's like,
dude.
it's like having
I
having
get
to
it, bro.
charge your phone. It's like
I'm actually
okay,
thinking
I
about
guess I
getting
gotta-
some burgers
I
after
need
this if
some
you're
energy,
down.
Where?
The place that we went before.
Yeah, I got a little bit of time.
But sorry. All right. So let's get to this other dancing after swing. That's my. I've
Right,
found that very
Right,
intriguing.
Right. Okay. So once I started getting sick of swing, I at first was like, okay, well, what else is there out there? And it turns out there's more dancing, social dancing out
You've
there.
been swing dancing for almost a decade and you didn't even like it.
Well, that's why.
That's
No,
so
no,
interesting.
Yeah.
it's why I swing dance.
I
for
get
example.
it.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just
why he
like,
does
it's-
it,
I'm
dude.
just like, whoa. Like 8 years is a long fucking time.
How long? How long? Just
I agree.
Quickly
and
to-
it's
How
I
many
kind of
times like
regret
a
it.
month do
Huh?
you like? How many times like
Like
a week?
practice,
Like how
yeah.
often do you go swing dancing?
Well,
when you were doing
when
it.
you were doing it.
So I would try to get into it. So
Sure.
so there's in the dance world, there's workshops. There, I traveled. There's like stuff in Chicago, Pittsburgh.
Were you
DC.
known as like this
you were
guy's?
traveling.
Well, wait,
too. That's
were
dope.
you like a top dog in the swing field?
I wish I was. I should have. So here's another thing. Another big reason why I chose dancing and why I'm doing like Sistema and stuff like that is because I'm naturally just very body not
I
uncoordinated.
see. Okay.
I see.
Yeah. So it's like anything I choose to do, it's like it will not be natural for me. Like it's like the most difficult thing
Okay.
for me.
So you're trying to
It's a
fill
very
in like.
admirable philosophy.
I was about to
be
say you're trying to
honest.
fill in the gaps in your skill set.
It's more like I don't know why. I
Oh,
don't know,
no, yeah.
I don't know why I'm like this, but like I don't think of it as filling in a gap. It's more like curiosity and
Okay.
and I like it's just oh yeah, it's kind of like a mystery of the unknown to me. Like it's sort of like I don't understand. I want to understand.
So
Yeah.
what was the dancing called again after swing? What was that?
Okay, so then after so it turns out there are some couple of dances that I found. One's Kizomba and the other one's Zouk.
Zouk. That's what it was.
Zouk. And then
These are dope names.
these are
You just you don't gotta censor yourself too.
I'm trying to find the words. I mean, like these are more. I don't even know how to say it.
What's the
Okay,
country of origin?
Okay, Brazil, Afro, Latino
Okay.
kind of thing. So swing dancing is like American
It's white.
jazz. It's white. it used to be black. So the origins,
Yeah, that's true, it
origins
is.
black.
Yep,
So then
yep.
all the
Then it's been
all
gentrified.
all the moves in the dance, like all the innovators in the dance are black, basically, in swing. Okay, and so, well, anyways, the point is that the culture in each dance, they're different. In swing, it's like a lot more. I don't know how to say it. It's really woke now. That's
in the sense of like
versus like tango. In tango, it's very like
Have you-
gender rolled.
have you
know?
you've done tango before?
No, but well, one or two times, but you can like so in tango, like one of the cultural things about it is that a woman's not allowed to ask a man to dance. Like, and the way a man asks for a dance is you make eye contact, and then you go over and you like say like, "May I have this dance?" And then the woman will reject the man, and basically, one of my friends who was into tango, he said that he couldn't get a dance for at least a year, of going to dances.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That's demoralizing.
So yeah, I'm maybe I'm a little exaggerating, but that was what my friend told me. But like the point is that the culture is different.
Mhm.
Well, the culture in like Zouk, say, I guess it's a lot more expressive of feminine energy
Okay.
in the sense, well, my friend, he got kicked out, and I fortunately learned vicariously through him. I don't know where to begin, but let's just put it this way.
Oh, you begin at the beginning.
Okay, so even at the club,
And there's clubs you go to
no.
for this?
well,
Like,
there
is
can,
it like
there can be?
is
but-
it like Zouk night at fucking Barney's
yeah,
club?
Sure. That can happen, yeah. But
Okay.
it's not a big thing, unfortunately. So
Sure.
it's like, but yeah, like, but even at like a normal dance club or whatever, just a nightclub, you'll like see girls just dancing, right? Like on the dance
Sure.
floor. They can do that for hours and hours and hours. Now, what does that mean to them? It means like they're in the warm end of the pool, right? And they just love that feeling, and they can just sit in that feeling forever. Well, in Zouk, something similar happens, except it's more sexually charged.
Okay.
So this dance is very sensual looking. So,
It's more explicit in nature.
there's just this all this like imagine like there's
Gyration.
yeah, boobs.
I see.
Yeah.
You see the picture,
Yeah,
the bigger
I got
picture.
it, I got it.
I mean, there's just a lot more like expressing of like curves. Now, oh yeah, one thing I'm just gonna shortcut this for if you have no idea what social dancing is. Some of these more sexually looking dances, when you're in it, you get desensitized a little bit
To like sex.
to the
To, like,
when,
gyration,
yeah
like-
when I for example when I first did one of these dances, like I got a boner like right away.
Nice.
Okay. And but after like taking the lessons and trying to learn it and all that stuff, like after a while and just going to dance after dance and after dance, after a while it's just like it's just another thing. It's so from the outside, I remember seeing on like Twitter or something like that, or where what was his name, the Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was like criticizing how like there's like this I think it was Zouk or something like that. Like it was some dancing going on behind like the boyfriend's back or something like that. Like literally just like right behind him, like she's dancing with somebody else. To me, that's like, oh, they're just dancing. But then Andrew Tate or somebody was like, oh, see, this guy's getting cucked or whatever, Like, but I don't think that's true at all. Like, it's just like they don't understand it. Like once you're in it, like it stops being so like it's just a thing, and it's good and bad in the sense that yeah, so that's what it is. I'm just explaining that. Well, when I first did Zouk, I went to one of their biggest events in Canada, and it's in Toronto. What's going on?
Oh. I'm gonna pause this real quick. All right.
So what happened to your friend?
Yeah. So you're no. So you
Okay,
explain the dancing more.
Right. Basically, there's a lot of sensual shit going
Sure.
on in these
Gyration.
these dances. Yes, in Zouk at least. Okay, so I went to Toronto, Canada. It's like their biggest like worldwide event actually. It's,
What is Zouk,
and-
like the Brazilian one, or is it like just
It's
an
the
app?
Brazilian. It's Brazilian Zouk. I mean, there's different. Yeah, it gets complicated.
I-
The
the
names
lore.
of the names of the moves are in Portuguese. Let's put it that way. Okay, and so like basically, my friend and I we went to this thing and we're like jackpot, but and so then yeah, later on he got kicked out because now here's the funny thing. He would dance now. So unlike me, he is extremely like coordinated. He's very mechanically inclined. He's amazing at the dance actually. He's really good. But to him, he's like, all right, yeah, I'm getting it on with this girl, And so then she'd have a great time with him, at a dance, and then he'd like get her contact info. So he got several girls as like Facebooks and like and then he would message them the following morning, like something really innocent sounding, like good morning. That's enough to like creep them out. Now,
So he
does
thought they were.
does that
So
surprise you?
What do you mean by getting kicked? Like he got kicked out. Like,
So these girls would
asked-
then later on complain about him to the organizers, and then they would
I
yeah,
see.
And they they would kick-
Okay.
yeah, so basically he got me too, basically. Like sorry, like so like does that surprise you though? Like, because it surprised me. Because I can explain.
I mean, I
like,
think-
I can explain the psychology now.
I
I understand
think-
it now, but
I think from
yeah.
me, I mean, now knowing that like the dance itself is sensual, I can see where like wires get crossed in a sense, right? Like where like you get a little confused. But I also think that messaging on Facebook is like just because a girl gives you your Facebook,
58-year-old.
yeah, it doesn't mean that she's into you. Right?
Also, my question is like, where is this happening at?
So-
like, is he in like
He's-
is this
this
just
is-
like a club,
No,
like,
this is-
or
this
is this
is-
like
this
a
is-
an event for Zouk?
event for Zouk.
Okay. See, okay, now I get that a little
Yeah,
bit
'cause
more
it's-
because like this is sorry.
Indigo.
This is like a thing. Like I'm not here to hang. Like I'm not here to meet people. I'm here to dance, kind of.
Right.
Like that. What the vibe is.
Well, it's hard to tell at least from our perspective
Mixed signals.
because it looks really sexy. It looks like the girl like it looks like it looks really like it's flirting on the dance floor. It looks, yeah.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's why we got confused.
Sure.
In fact, I even did the same thing. I made the same mistake actually. Not repeatedly like he did, so that I didn't get kicked out. But I also
banned from Zoom.
yeah, and like but like for example, like I was so as the night goes on to like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and it gets more and more like people
Yeah.
more body on body contact.
A
Okay,
little sweaty.
and like in one of my dances in a very dark, crowded room, you know, it's still the same event, but
Okay.
but like now it's split off into different kinds of rooms. Like they like went to a different building or whatever. But like I was like having this amazing dance with this girl. I had a heart on on her inner thigh.
Yikes.
And she didn't flinch. She didn't do any. You know, she just let it be, right? Like, and we're still like
She
Dancing.
dancing. And
oh god.
I was like, oh, she likes me. That's the confusing part. Doesn't mean that they like you. Just because they let you put your.
Oh, yeah. okay.
I thought you said this could be rated R.
Yeah, I know. Sure, man. Just fucking blurt it out.
I don't care.
Go for it.
But I don't know. Okay, at least it's entertaining. Okay, so like
How long have you been practicing Zouk for?
not that long. So
Okay.
so yeah, after this event, I kind of got really disillusioned.
When was the event?
When?
Well, yeah, how long
So you
ago was
enjoyed
this?
it too much.
2018 or something.
Okay.
You enjoyed it too
2018.
much, so you left?
No, it's that like I
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
didn't understand what it was about back then, so I got mad. I was like on behalf of my friend as well. where
yeah, of
it was-
Oh,
course.
he
I
got
was like,
kicked out.
I was like, you know, these people are, you know, like they like these girls, they let us on, you know, that sort of like they
Yeah.
like, they tricked us, you know, that, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't understand it, but now I can explain it. I understand it now. And so the way I understand it is that it really does also look like these girls are getting sexually turned on the dance floor. So that
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get it. Yeah.
okay, so that's what's so confusing to me.
Yeah.
So now what I didn't understand back then that I understand now, or at least the way I say it to myself, is that unlike guys, maybe girls, they can feel turned on sexually, like they'll like start feeling it, you know, like, but they can stay there, like it's the warm end of the pool, and not have it go anywhere. They're not like they don't have a direction, you know, unlike a guy who wants to take it somewhere. A girl can just be there,
I
can just
see what
be
you're
turned
saying.
on, stay turned on for hours and hours and hours, and they're perfectly fine. It's like the warm end of the pool. That's the difference.
I agree
Yeah.
from different
think I see what you're saying.
experiences,
Yeah.
not necessarily dancing, but
Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah. That makes.
Yeah,
I've never
'cause, like-
thought about it that way though,
'cause,
but
like-
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because as a guy, I have my like, you know, whatever.
You got your blood pumping.
Like well
in
my,
a certain
my,
area.
my masculine
Something's
prejudices
tight.
or whatever is that I want a head I want to be
Going in a direction.
directional and purpose. Like where, you know, what's the end game? You know, where's
Are you gonna fuck me or not?
And the other one that you were talking about, the same, like,
The swing.
is this no?
Oh.
It's different.
Oh, there's another one. Kizomba is also
Yeah.
similar.
Okay, so
It's
it's similar
look,
vibe.
Well,
You haven't tried
it's a
that one,
complete-
right?
It's a I've tried both, but
Oh,
like
okay.
but
Yeah, you
in-
idiot.
they look very different, and
Which one's hotter?
they're both pretty hot. They're both pretty hot.
Nice.
Um,
Should we try
Swing
like
dancing.
Yeah.
all,
That's the one we
all
should
boats
try,
no
yeah.
host tries?
Dude, it's not a terrible
look,
idea.
Look. Swing dancing is the least sexy of the dances.
Ugh.
Like,
What about square dancing?
okay, that one's the least.
Yeah.
You're right. Actually, there's one that's like, it's called like, was it country dancing or something?
I think that's more square dancing.
Yeah, you don't even touch each other. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in that one.
So I don't like Coyote Jizz.
How many how many moves do you think, like, how many dance moves do you think you have like imprinted onto your brain right now?
In swing, yeah, I have like 5 maybe. Like, so here's the thing. There are different kinds of styles of dance. Some people, they like to take like the few moves they have and hone them to perfection. And then other people, they like a lot more variety, and they like, you know, that's just different.
Where do you learn a new dance? Like you go to just a class. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
I need some new.
Just like improv or
basic knowledge.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a whole,
Lay it
just
on
another
me.
community, another set of teachers. Yeah, it's another and like it can if you just keep in mind everyone looks really sexy, everyone looks hot, but you have to. Okay,
So do
I'll
we.
also tell you how to actually use it to get laid.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Look, it's not like you can't get laid. You can't like get laid with a person who's really into dancing. But you have to understand that person is desensitized to the actual
To dancing.
to the dance
I see
itself.
what you're saying.
Mm.
But
How long do you think it takes you to become not desensitized? Like to become desensitized? Like how long did it take you?
for me personally,
Yeah.
like a year.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of time.
That's respectable
Yeah.
amount of time, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, okay. If you if you know a little bit of dancing, and then this is how I got laid. Okay. So basically,
Nice, dude. Late
like,
story.
I'm on the date with the girl, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm taking this dancing. I'm trying to learn this dance. You'd be like a good practice partner. Let go back to my place and like I want to practice some moves. Like do you think it'll be fun? You know. And so basically, she's, oh yeah, I'm game or whatever. Well, turns out that if you do these moves to her, and remember, she doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything.
So funny.
This is
Wait. I think I missed a part of the
No,
context.
you didn't. He's gonna.
So you where are you guys practicing these moves at?
so my place. You know,
But is this
as
a
in,
girl
like,
you met at the dance club or no?
No,
It's
a
a girl who
completely-
doesn't know anything about dance.
like
Okay.
a girl that like I'm that I met
Okay.
some completely
Okay.
somewhere else. Okay. The
Hmm.
point is
Or
that
doing
the point is
Sistema.
that she doesn't know anything about dancing. She's not desensitized. That's the key. That's the key. Okay. She doesn't.
You need to find a sensitive girl.
Like
Right, Alex?
a girl who's like not done much dancing at all, and so then you
Pull your moves out.
well yeah so then it is kind of funny because like so I'll be like, oh, I'm trying to work on the basics of this dance, and the basics is like this stuff is some of that, and like and then so
That was awesome.
so then now in the context of the actual dance, if she's a good follow, it should feel like kind of like liquid water, because like she's also
Okay.
she's also very like good at it, right? And she's following along with what you're doing, so it feels great. Now to a person who doesn't know, stiff as a board, it feels terrible, but guess what? She's getting massively turned on. Like,
I see.
yeah,
Nice. All right.
yeah.
But her heart is racing.
yeah. And so and that's was also confusing to me because I was like, so when I first like tried this tactic or whatever on a girl, like I thought it was like, oh, this is disastrous. Like this is not working at all. But then later on, so I managed to have sex with her. Okay, so later on, she like tells me like, that when we were doing that dancing, she was like massively turned on at that time, and I was like, really? Like it was.
You sucked. This
like-
was terrible for me.
I couldn't
That's
tell.
crazy because you suck at it, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't
What
tell.
rank dancer would you say you are, Wayne?
Like, okay, let's tier it up.
Yeah, like
S tier,
S tier, A tier. Like what kind of
S
dance?
A B.
I say B or whatever.
Okay,
because,
B is
Yeah.
respectable,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
B is
Like-
100% respectable.
like it is.
Actually, B at the Zook.
So if I went back now, because I did some Sistema now, I understand.
At your
Okay,
best. How about this?
more core
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Sistema is really good for core body mechanics.
Oh, so do you plan on
Extremely good.
going? Do you plan on going back to Zook after this?
Maybe.
I mean, dude, the
Ooh,
world's his oyster.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
fuck. He
Why
can fuck
can't
shit
he?
up at Zook.
Well, again, you gotta keep in mind that like those girls are desensitized.
Oh.
So, see, that's
Are
where
you gonna-
you gotta play the long game. You gotta.
I gotta bring this guy to Boogie Fever or something, dude.
Like-
Just
Teach
let him
me how to
roam
dance.
around.
Have you been to Boogie Fever?
No.
Oh, you gotta
You
go.
don't need to go. But
You need to go.
Alex thinks you need to go.
Yeah.
I think you don't.
Again.
We should bring the improv group there.
Again, it's like like a very noisy nightclub or whatever. It's like
So it's a disco dance nightclub.
Okay, yeah, it's hard to like do what I did. Like to me,
Ah.
it's a good move to like if you take instead of Netflix and chill, like
Zook and chill?
Yeah.
Zook and
yeah. It's like
I see.
it's like there's a much more clearer in my head like a progression towards sex, like if we practice dancing, and like it's just because you're already
It is
there,
anal-
you're holding her.
You really are analytical.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm
Interesting.
saying. Yeah, it's like it's a really cool thing to do. Like you have a great time, during the date, and then
How
you,
long can you dance for? Like, how long is like
oh
before you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, this is
well,
enough dancing for
so
tonight.
this is where I kind of have an addictive personality, where
Okay.
in the sense that these dances they go on till like 5 a.m. in the morning,
Holy
and
fuck.
I will just still be there. And this is where I have to like consciously stop myself. And yeah, and that's also when I found myself like in that like addictive state.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, this is not good for me actually,
Okay.
and so I have to stop.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's pros and cons,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to give you like the main thing about a pro, like a yeah.
So, do you think you have a favorite way to dance right now? Like, if you had,
it would not.
if you had to pick a style, like,
That you've
Okay,
done. What?
for,
What?
for what are we?
What occasion?
Yeah,
Just
for what occasion?
If you're going out, just dancing with friends.
you're just trying
Yeah.
to you're just trying to dance.
Yeah,
I'm
just
if
for
I-
have
if
fun.
I- just to have fun, then
Yeah.
I guess it'd be swing since that's the one I know the most about.
Okay. All right.
Do you
And-
think you could still have fun swing dancing? Like,
No, no, no.
like, do you
Zouk
think if you
dancing.
go like,
Yeah, I can have fun, but I have a love-hate relationship with it in the sense that like it like food, like some like it's food is good until you have
Too much of it,
Too
yeah.
much of it is addictive.
I see.
It's like this
when was the last time
Yeah.
you went swing dancing?
super long time ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes, this is like you're past this arc, kinda. When was the last time you zooked?
yeah, 2018. Like it was
Dude, yes. Okay, so you haven't been dancing for a minute.
right.
haven't been
I
dancing for,
stopped.
like,
I
5
quit.
years.
I quit. I'm like really into improv right now. Like that's and Sistema. Like it's like
Speaking of
it's
improv, we're gonna end the pod soon. It's
Yeah.
been a minute, but
Yeah.
I wanted I've been trying to. I mentioned this earlier. I've been trying to convince Ethan for a while now to try improv. But can you give a quick like an elevator sales pitch
Oh.
to him to try improv?
well,
And he's coming from, at least in my opinion, like he's even outside of like the podcast. I think you're into comedy in terms of you like watching stand up,
Sure.
right? And you've been in a couple of my skits, and we would riff a lot, and that's why we came up with the podcast, is because we thought like every guy thinks this, but like we have really funny conversations. But people even around us would say that. What is that too
I think
arrogant to
so.
say or not?
No, I don't think
Okay, so that's kind of the background, and I've been trying to get him to do it, but
well, let me ask you, Ethan. Why not improv?
so. Okay, to start off, is number one. I really don't. I'm not. I'm too lazy to like devote like time to a class right now. If I'm being honest, I've like lot of shit going on. I guess
Okay,
like
if you
with
had-
regards to like
that-
school. If I had
that
the time though,
aside, yeah.
I just don't know if it's like. I don't know if it's something I'd have fun like doing. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of definitely nervous to try it. I guess.
Nervous? Like, well, Alex, I mean, I'm sure you know him better than
yeah.
So
yeah.
like, what does he have? Like, see? It depends on the personality, Like, it's not.
So
I don't know.
That's why
Yeah.
I think, and I've told this to him before, and it's I think his humor is very much observational humor, where he sees something and he points it out, like this is weird, or like,
I
hey,
was
does
also
anyone
gonna
else
say
do
that
this?
was, like, I'm like, I think the way I like to be funny or like the way I like to make people laugh is like I'm not like as much of an off the cuff like come up with a scene like do
Yeah,
a
yeah.
character thing.
Okay,
Like,
let me-
that's
let me-
not something that I'm like I think good at. Like I've never been great at
Okay.
like what's the game like that
Mhm.
people play. It's like on a phone, Jackbox. Like that's
Oh,
never
okay.
been my game. Like I've never been like being like coming up with stuff like that. I
Yeah.
feel
Okay,
like
let me ask you. Like, do you like Louis C.K.?
Yeah.
He's the only stand-up comedian that I like, basically. What kind of like in stand-up, like what do you like about Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K. I like. He seems very like natural. It seems very. I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think of which jokes like are standing up to me. Like
Are you like kind of like a punchline guy or a guy who like? Because what I like about him is that like he acts out his characters. Like for example, okay, so when he was on Conan in one of the YouTube videos, and he's telling his story about his dog. I don't know if you remember this. Like his dog ate dark chocolate, and like he has to take the dog to the CVS because you feed hydrogen peroxide to to a dog that ate dark chocolate because it's dark chocolate's poisonous to dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when he's telling his story, he acts out both sides of the two characters, himself and the dog. So he goes in, he sees the dog has eaten dark chocolate. He goes, "Oh my god!" You know. So he acts out the
dog.
the dog, and the dog character's like, "You left me home alone for an hour. Come on," you know. And then
see.
"You're gonna die," and then the dog goes, "I don't understand English, but I get that you're upset." You know, like you see, like there's just like this. I like the characters.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, it is. There's also a punchline there too. It is a joke, but I prefer. I don't know if that that enhances the humor for you.
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it a lot. I've been kind of kicking it like to the side, like because Alex keeps asking me, and I don't really know what to say. So like I'm trying not to think about it as much.
Okay.
But I will definitely say that like if I was gonna try something, I think I would try stand up before I try improv.
Well, I think you'd be better at stand up, but I also think that in my opinion, it's a symbiotic relationship in a sense where in the beginning, one does not influence the other, but I think at the end of all, it does. Like
both are trying to be funny.
for improv, it's like, and it's very off the cuff. So then, therefore, I would be much better at crowd work for stand up, right? You can
Absolutely.
think much
No,
quicker.
I think like
But then I think that if I do stand up and I'm writing, practicing, I understand how to set up a punchline and a joke more to where I can, if I'm in a scene, that can come
use
naturally.
that.
That can come naturally to me in the scene of like, oh, I know
This is
a
how
punchline.
to set up the
Absolutely,
punchline.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you make a really good point, Alex. In that like in improv, I think the goal is to be clever and like really good at like acting out the characters.
Mhm.
And then stand up is the same thing, being clever and to me because I like Louis C.K. like also acting out the characters.
Mhm.
But then they're coming from opposite ends.
Yep.
Yeah, like stand up, you get to be clever beforehand. And
One's
then-
one's
yeah.
an acid, one's like a base, and they're on opposite ends, but they all
But you gotta like go.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
at the highest levels.
They're-
They also say like all martial arts becomes sistema at the highest levels.
Mhm.
So like if you watch like a great boxer or a
Yeah.
great whatever it is, you can see how incredibly relaxed they are. Like they're super chill about it. Like you know, I don't know if you watch like the highest like I don't know if, like Roger Federer or somebody like you know like if you watch him like it looks effortless and he's incredibly relaxed doing his thing. You know, like that. Yeah, it's like
Interesting.
yeah.
Do you like tennis?
No,
Why did you pick Federer?
because I've watched footage of him and that's something that I learned from dancing is that I can like watch people move
Recognize the
and
quality
yeah
of
and I can
movement.
recognize it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But awesome. Well, I think we'll end it here. Wayne, I wanted to thank you for coming on the
Thank
pod.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting
I
me.
hope you
Thanks for
enjoyed
being a
it.
guest.
Hopefully you still don't enjoy. Actually, no. I hope you didn't enjoy it and you don't understand it, so then you
So
can
then
come
you'll
back
come
later.
back.
So,
It's a little jarring.
but awesome. Well, Ethan, anything you wanted to say before we end it off here?
No, I think I've been all boats.
Fine. I've been No Hose. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next episode.
Peace.